today we're going to be turning some old night joggers into a beautiful little co-ord set with a comic strip detail. Here I'm just showing you where we're going to be cutting, or where I'm going to be cutting, that's my preference. And this is some of the accessories you're going to need. Is some scissors, ruler and tailor's chalk if you have any. In this case I'm just using a pencil because that's what I had to hand. I couldn't find my tailor's chalk. However you'll find, I do find it later on, and I do end up using it. So we're just going to cut across the line that we've just drawn out onto our joggers, just wherever you want the length to be, it's up to you. I do advise going as short as possible though, so that you've got more fabric left over for your sleeve. A bit cheeky, but it'll help and it'll work in your favour. So now I'm just cutting out around a top that I do like the shape of, and I'm just going to try and mimic that with my top today. And then after I've drawn my lines around it, I'm just going to cut it out. Here I'm cutting across a seam, and this is just going to help to give us a front and a back panel. Without that it would just be a tube, so obviously you won't be able to wear it as a top. So I'm just going to cut across that seam, and then I'm going to have to repeat it along the bottom. Then I'm just going to have to repeat the same step along the bottom. Just try and cut as neatly as possible. And if you've got an edge in there that's a little bit tough, like it's been overlocked, then try to keep that on one side of the fabric, so that when you're hemming the fabric it's on one side and you don't have to waste any more material trying to get rid of it. So here I'm just repeating the same step on the back like I said I would. It's just nice. Here I'm hemming the fabric. You don't have to do that on this step though. I don't know, I was just rushing a little bit for some reason. You can hem at the end once you've done this step that we're doing now. So this step should come first, which is just sewing the front and back together on the sides, making sure that you don't sew up the armhole, because you are going to want to put your arm through your top. Unless you're just making a tube top, whereas you would just do the steps we've done now, and you wouldn't have to cut around a fabric that you like, or a material top that you like, sorry. You could just do two rectangular pieces that fit you. Here I'm just cutting out around a pattern that I had made for a coat. However, I did cut it too short and not wide enough for the sleeve that we're making out of the jogger pant. It is limited because you don't have more jogger to add into it, so make sure that whatever you cut in, you're making sure it fits. You'll see what I mean. This is too small widthways, so I do end up cutting out a new fabric or a new shape out of my fabric to fit. Okay, so as you'll see here, it's still a little bit too small. There we go. So I'm cutting out a triangle just to size it down a little bit. It is too big for me anyway. I didn't like the size of it, and so I'm cutting out a triangle. Yeah, you might not have to do that, if your jogger fits your arm nicely. But then I've flipped it inside out, and I'm going to sew across the line that I just made. Sew down the line, sorry. I'm doing it on an overlock. However, if you've just got a sewing machine is fine. I make sure that it stays in place. And this is my little brother, he's a cutie. Okay, so I've put both fabrics right sides together, so the sides that you want to be showing once it's complete, they're going to be facing each other, and you're going to be sewing on the wrong sides. So the seam will be on the inside, you won't be able to see it. And there we go. That's the finished product of the sleeve. Here I'm cutting out some of the elastic that was on the bottom of one of the trouser legs, and I'm going to use that as a shoulder strap, as you'll see in a moment. It's just going to get sewn on to the front and the back panels, okay, on the inside. You're going to put it on the inside so that we can't see it. Sorry about that if you heard that slam, it was my little brother. He likes slamming doors. Okay, so you're just going to cut the excess off, excess of the thread I should say, not the fabric. And there we are. I'm just repeating the same step. It would be ideal, I might add, obviously, to have a thread that's the colour of your fabric, but it's a lockdown and I can't go out and get the thread that I want, so I'll just have to make do with this. And here I'm just measuring out my thigh, the circumference of my thigh, and it totaled 27 inches, so I cut out a 28-inch length fabric, and then I cut it in half. I cut it in half widthways so that both pieces were equal, and then I'm just sewing across the seam of the on the seam allowance that I gave. The inch was the seam allowance, and this is just going to make them circles. It's just going to attach them. And then I used some Bostik clear glue, all-purpose glue, and I just glued it down, and my camera died, so I'm sorry about that, but I've not shown you me gluing them down, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And this is the complete look. I hope you like it. Please like, comment and subscribe. I know you.